If you're one of the few people that are watching me from the beginning of my YouTube channel, you probably know that I'm a sucker for a Les Paul Custom. It is my absolute favorite guitar. I got one of them right here that I've bought a year ago. I've been slacking with it. I haven't done a video because I got all these cool Epiphones to document. As a result, my own personal guitars get a backseat right. I haven't yet documented this one. I wanted something different with this one because I had a black one, I had a Silverburst, a white. Check it out. It's a figured top Les Paul Custom. It is rare to see one of these with a figured maple top and not a solid finish. Now let's check it out. Throughout the years from trying, owning and playing a lot of instruments, I figured out that the Gibson Les Paul Custom with the 60s style of neck is my guitar. That's why most of my personal guitars that I currently own are Les Paul Customs. A lot of people consider the black and gold to be the perfect combination for a Les Paul Custom and call it the Holy Grail. I got two of these and I had a 96 that I sold. The 2019 Ebony with gold hardware is one of the best guitars that I've ever owned. The 2012 Silverburst is still my main guitar. The 76 Iron Cross is just amazing. I've sold my white one, but I'm gonna buy one again eventually. The wine red belongs to a friend. Most of them I've already reviewed: the white, the wine red, the Iron Cross, the 2019 Ebony. I'm yet to review the Silverburst, which is my main guitar, and this one, the Cherry Sunburst. I got this beautiful figured flame maple top Cherry Sunburst last year because I wanted something different. I already have most of the solid color finishes, so I wanted something that stands out, and this definitely does. It's not very common to see a Cherry Sunburst finish and one with a flamed figure maple top, as they call it, on a Les Paul Custom. These kind of finishes and tops are usually reserved for the standard series, VOS, Custom Shop, USA Standard, whatever. You usually see them on those, but not on a Les Paul Custom, making this particular Les Paul Custom pretty interesting and rare. You just gotta see the figurine on that top in person to appreciate it. Pictures and shop listings do not do these guitars any justice. The flames on the top just dance on the light, and it's even weirder that this has a more pronounced flame top than the 1958 Gibson Les Paul standard reissue in Cherry Sunburst finish with a figure top that I reviewed and owned. And I've seen other examples of this particular model with pretty plain looking tops, even though they are listed as figured. The only downside for collectors is that this is 2015, meaning that it has a rich light fingerboard. Gibson has been using rich light for their fingerboards for the Les Paul Custom from 2012 to the beginning of 2019. This doesn't bother me personally, but for a lot of people it's a deal breaker, so you have to be aware. But wait, it gets better. It's not only a figured flame maple top, the back is a see-through finish as well. Meaning that for me personally, for the first time, I can appreciate the construction of the Les Paul Custom. The single piece mahogany back, the single piece mahogany neck. The black, Silverburst, white, cherry finishes conceal that, but here you can actually see the grain of the wood, of the mahogany. Combine that with the fact that even though this is a 7-year-old Les Paul Custom now, 2015 model, we are 2022, it is in perfect shape. There is no fret wear, there are no major dings, scratches or anything like that. It's a perfect example of the model. I'm pretty happy that I have the opportunity to own one of these. I will probably sell it eventually in the pursuit of the quest of finding interesting finishes for the Les Paul Custom. Whoever ends up buying this from me is gonna have one hell of a guitar with everything included. This custom can definitely benefit from some cleaning. I have been lending it to people to play here in the shop to try it out, and you see the fingerboard is pretty dirty. I'm gonna polish these frets with Frying by Music Nomad. I'm also gonna polish the hardware and pickups using guitar polish, and then I'm gonna clean and oil the fingerboard using F1 fingerboard oil. Then I'm gonna clean up the body using Guitar Detailer. Here we go, the fingerboard is clean and fresh again, the frets are polished, the hardware is shining. Even with the fancy stuff, it is a Les Paul Custom in the end of the day, so it's my comfort zone and I know what it's made of. It's one-piece mahogany body, two-piece figured flame maple top, cherry sunburst finish. The neck is made out of one piece of mahogany, set neck construction, rich light fingerboard for the 2015 model, 22 medium jumbo frets, 12-inch radius, 24.75-inch scale length. On the headstock we have the custom shop veneer with the mother of pearl diamond, mother of pearl logo, Grover tuners with the tulip tips, and a set of Gibson pickups, the 490R, 498T. The usual controls for the Gibson Les Paul Custom and Les Paul in general, Nashville style pneumatic bridge, and the tailpiece to go along with it. Pretty typical stuff for a Les Paul Custom. I was looking forward to removing the pickups because I wanted to find out if the 2015 Gibson Les Paul models have the long neck tenon, and it doesn't, because you see the 2019 Gibson Les Paul Custom Ebony I have has the long neck tenon. This one doesn't. So I have to figure out when did Gibson started using long neck tenons between 2015 and 2019. Other than that, you can clearly see the maple top connecting to the mahogany body. It's a pretty thick figured maple top. That's not a veneer, it's a full-blown figured maple top. It is the real deal. It is specially selected for this particular Gibson Les Paul Custom, and you can see just how thick it is here in the bridge pickup. Here's the routing for the three-way switch and the pickups as well. Here it is from another angle. Flawless as expected from the Gibson Custom shop. This Les Paul Custom has the original pickups, the Gibson 490R, made in March of 2015, the same year as the guitar, a couple of months earlier, the Gibson USA logo from underneath, gold covered. And for the bridge position, the 498T, made also in March of 2015, making this the original set of pickups. Inspecting the pickups, I noticed something. Here in the bridge position, the 498T, I see a lot of solder here on the edges, so I think at some point the previous owner or somebody removed the cover. A lot of people do that. It's not uncommon. They want to get the sound from an open coil pickup. And yes, these are metal covers, so they do make a difference. Not a huge one, but it's a difference nonetheless. Here's what the pickup rings look like, and the screws for the bridge pickup are abnormally long. I think these are the longest I've seen related to the neck pickup ones, or maybe it's because of the neck pickup ring is extremely low. I don't know, I've forgotten. I haven't reviewed one in a while. No surprises measuring the pickups. The bridge 498T is at 13.14 k ohms. Switching over to the neck 490R at 7.42. Middle position 4.74. Consistency is the name of the game with Gibson Custom Shop. The original hardware is in excellent condition. This is the Nashville pneumatic style of bridge with the PW mark from underneath. Don't forget, if you're buying a replacement for your Les Paul Custom, these are imperial, not metric, and they can only be adjusted using the thumb wheels. No adjusting using a screwdriver. Here's the tailpiece, also in excellent condition. This one is pretty heavy. I'm gonna weigh both of these. Has the instrument mark on the bottom. I've raised my tailpiece a little bit so the strings angle don't collapse my bridge. The Nashville pneumatic bridge weighs 54 grams, which is about right. And the full weight tailpiece, pretty heavy at 88 grams. Here's what the controls look like. They are raised from the body, perfectly raised, no thumb bleeders. These are just your typical speed knobs, black. Bridge volume, bridge tone, neck tone. The pickup selector is a three-way switch with an ivory cap and a gold hardware. A black poker chip with golden rhythm treble leathers. All Les Paul Customs come with a pickguard, and usually I like it, but tell me about this one. What do you think, with or without it for this particular top, because you have the figured top? It is just a black multiply pickguard with a golden bracket to match the rest of the gold hardware. And here's why I think some people might prefer this guitar to be without the pickguard on. It is hiding this beautiful two-piece figured maple top. It is a curved top as usual, multiply binding around it. It has a couple of interesting spots on it with distinctive figuring like this one, a couple more right here. It is not perfectly book matched, but it doesn't have to be. It still has some interesting characteristics to it. This is what I meant when I said that I wanted to get something different. Usually people get these in solid finishes like black, white. I wanted to get the cherry Sunburst with a figured maple top. It certainly stands out from the rest. We got a one-piece mahogany neck with a set neck construction, and remember guys, this being a 2015, from 2012 to 19, they are rich light fingerboards. Almost all Les Paul custom models that came out from the custom shop are using the rich light in this period. And this one is pretty good actually. Even though it's not as porous as the real ebony, looks good. Certainly sounds and feels similar. I have guitars with real ebony, remember I have the 2019. It's pretty much the same with this. A lot of people don't know this fact, others don't care, I certainly don't mind it. Especially when the custom shop chose the mother of pearl inlays so perfectly for this guitar. Just as the figure top, these react differently to light and they're consistent throughout the entire fingerboard. Perfect choice by the Gibson custom shop. We got 22 medium jumbo frets with the fret nips for the Les Paul Custom in perfect condition, black side dot inlays. Here's what the headstock looks like, black veneer glued to the mahogany neck, gold hardware Grover tuners with the tulip tips, mother of pearl Gibson Les Paul Custom diamond, and the Gibson mother of pearl logo with the dotted eye. Here's one of the few issues I've managed to find with this guitar, there's a slight chip on the binding of the headstock. Speaking of, Les Paul Customs have multiply binding around the headstock, this one has started to yellow even though the guitar was kept in a non-smoker environment. You gotta keep in mind that Gibsons come with nitrocellulose finish and it gets yellow over time when it ages, especially around the body and the neck. I'm not sure why the official website says that this is a two-way adjustable truss rod where it clearly tightens in one direction. This is the cover for the truss rod, Les Paul Custom 2-ply, and this one is starting to get a little bit yellow, which is pretty cool. And here's a piece of advice, when adjusting the truss rod, be careful with sharp screwdrivers when dismounting this cover because you can easily scratch it like the previous owner or somebody else did right here. The nut is 43mm or 1.69 inch wide. The 12th fret is at 52.5mm or 2.06 inches. Thickness at the first fret is 20.8mm or 0.81 inch. Thickness at the 12th fret 24.5mm or 0.96, but this is where the neck heel starts. If we try at the 11th fret, 23.8, so around 24, which is bearable. The body thickness is 50.5mm or 1.98 inch. This is typical for a Les Paul and it is curved so it gets thicker at some spots. The radius is 12 inches or 305mm, also typical for a Les Paul. The neck profile is not too chunky, it is a slim C, pretty comfortable, it is my absolutely perfect type of neck. I love these Les Paul Customs and the 60s style of C-shaped necks, they are my comfort zone. Before I show you the back, I'm gonna slightly clean it up with Music Nomad 1, this is the daily formula I use before and after every playing. With nitro finishes, I prefer to brush off the body using the Music Nomad 2, this way I get rid of most of the dust particles in advance. Otherwise, when I use the Music Nomad 1, they will get trapped between the body and the formula and they will rub against the nitro finish, creating micro scratches. I spray a little bit of one here on the microfiber cloth by Music Nomad. Here's mine, I got the tech size because I work on a lot of guitars every day. I think this one has seen over 300 guitars by this point. Hey Music Nomad, send me that care package for YouTubers, will you? Here's a rare opportunity to check out the back construction of a Gibson Les Paul Custom. Usually these come finished in solid colors, so we are not able to count the pieces of wood used, for example the one-piece mahogany back. We're not able to see the grain of the wood either. Here the finish is see-through and we are able to see that huge piece of mahogany used for the back of the Les Paul Custom, no seam lines in it. I also see a little bit of flame in the mahogany as well, which is pretty rare. Same as the top, beautiful multiply binding around the back as well. Here's what the compartment for the three-way switch looks like. I think these are switchcraft, you can see all the way to the maple top. But there's paint in there so you cannot see the actual color of the maple. This is the cover for the three-way switch. I love these, they are made out of metal and they are pretty classy. Here's the electronics compartment, nice and neat, Gibson 500K potentiometers. Here it is from another angle so you can check the routing for the output jack. Here's the plastic cover for the electronics compartment, looks like this, there's no shielding on the back of it. In fact, there is one more here for the three-way switch. If you don't like the look of the medallion or you like to preserve it, you can use the included plastic. A rectangular plate for the output jack with a gold nut. and I have replaced the original strap buttons with Schallers here and over here, but here are the original ones. I still have them in the package, and remember, Gibsons have a longer screw for the back strap button. Here's a better look at the neck joint, the way the body binding meets the neck binding, and the neck heel over here. Here's a feature that distinguishes the expensive instruments. The entire neck is made out of one piece of mahogany. No extra piece for the neck heel here. It is all made of a huge block of mahogany that they had to cut, and only a small portion was used for the neck heel. For example, Epiphone would have made two necks from the same block of wood, and they would have used a separate piece for the neck heel. Only the wings of the headstock are glued, because obviously you don't want to waste too much wood. You have to discard this huge piece over here and over here in order to make the wings, so it makes sense to glue those. The C-shaped neck doesn't have a volute, Gibson Custom logo on the base of the headstock, Grover tuners with the tulip buttons, and the custom shop Les Paul Customs don't have a serial number that show the actual year. Their numbering has a different logic, and it's better to keep the certificate of authenticity to verify them. Here's what the Grover looks like outside of the guitar. This one is pretty heavy, I'm gonna weigh it in a second. The whole thing, the construction with the nut, washer and screw, weighs 45 grams. This is pretty heavy. They are substantial and they last for decades. That's the good thing about Gibson Les Paul Custom tuners. This is my personal Les Paul Custom, meaning that I can set it any way I like it, and I prefer Elixir 9-46 strings in E standard. This gorgeous beast weighs 4,298 grams or 9.47 pounds. Most guitars that come out of the Gibson Custom shop come with these cases, or used to come between 2010 to I think the beginning of 2021. When they switched back to a black case with a silver lining inside, this one has the pink case candy and accessories. These are the original strap buttons that I've already mentioned. I'm gonna include them as well. This is the replacement three-way switch cover, and this sticker used to come on the pick guard when you buy the guitar brand new. It still has it. Here's the key for the case, and you can see inside is a fake centipede. Cool story behind this that I'm gonna tell for my future self. When we were separating with my ex-wife, she put this all over my stuff to mess with me in the future. I'm gonna keep it here, God bless her. Anyway, cheers if you're watching, hun. There are some papers, the Gibson Custom label that you can hang on the guitar or the tuners when you're selling them, displaying them on a wall, nothing on the back. And this I think is the social media information, yep, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Then there's the important stuff, the Gibson Gold warranty that also doubles down as a pre-packed checklist. This indicates that the guitar was made in April of 2015. LPCF means Les Paul Custom Figured, and there's the serial number here on the bottom. Here is the brown Gibson Custom Shop folder with the golden Gibson Custom logo. They switched to black in 2021 I think. LP Custom F, Les Paul Custom Figured, and the serial number written in here. Here we also have the signature for the general manager and vice president of the Gibson Custom Shop, Rick Gembar, or at least he was the manager in 2015. The Gibson Custom Shop cases are made in Canada. Here's a tip for you: if you don't remember what kind of string gauge and brand you are using, just keep the last box here with the accessories. Now let's hear this Gibson Les Paul Custom. My honest thoughts about the Les Paul Custom figured. Well, like every Les Paul Custom that I've tried and reviewed, it's perfect. I'm yet to see a bad Les Paul Custom. Badly owned, yes, but badly made? Nah, I haven't seen one yet. This one is particularly interesting because the figured maple top is gonna increase in value, I assume. The only thing dragging it down is the rich light fingerboard. I don't mind them, I don't care about it, it's basically the same like the ebony, but for collectors and a lot of people, it's a deal breaker. So I have to fully disclose this as well. It is a gorgeous guitar in an excellent condition with an excellent case. What else is there to say? What? We still got time until the end of the video? Boy, that is awkward. So, how is your day going? What's up with you? Anything interesting going on with you lately? Ah, here we are at the end. I don't care. See ya.